Okay, it's the weekend video now. It's Friday morning here on the west coast of Ireland, and it's time to do a weekend video. I didn't get to it last weekend, but I did do a midweek update. So, 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. Uh, I'm going to go through the markets. Obviously, if you're new here, this is basically an Elliott wave based channel. So, technical analysis based on the ideas. Um, the let's say theory behind Elliott wave, based on the Elliott wave theory or method. But I'm going to go through the markets and I'm going to tell you where I think we stand. My word, it's been an interesting week. Wait till we get to crude oil. I think you'll enjoy that one. Okay, I'm going to start on the FX markets, US dollar FX markets first, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so the base here is the daily chart for euro dollar. Oh, go back to the videos. You'll see right back around, January 21, we were looking for a top and a turn down. We got a top, a turn down. Then earlier on this year, no, sorry, summer 22, we were looking for a turn up. We got a turn up. Now we're looking for a top. No, we had been looking for a turn down to complete a second wave. We've got a turn down into a second wave. And now I think we are very close to turning back up again in euro dollar. Obviously, I can't tell the future, so I don't, I can't be 100% sure about this, but I think we're pretty close to completing a second wave, and we should rally in a third wave. I think that overall, I'm looking for a 5-wave pattern up to, up towards about 130 again. So, man, this could be quite a run ahead of us. You would expect to break the wave A high. So that wave A high was back in, 2018, and that comes in at 125. So we could run up to 125. That's, what's that in pips? That's a lot of pips. um, Obviously, I can't be 100% sure about this. It's a long-term view, and we take it day by day, obviously, because I do the daily wave counts, if you like. What I do, get onto the bullwebs.org and check out the membership options. But we're looking a long way up at this point, if this count is correct. So let's see how it goes. 4-hour count, you can see we've got that wave 1 top, wave A down, 3 waves up on wave B. That created a new high in wave B. So we were looking for an expanded flat correction at that point. And at that point, we were looking for a break of the wave A low. So that came in at 106.30. So expanded flat correction should, wave B tops out above the previous high, and wave C tops out below, bottoms out below the initial wave A move. So you've got a kind of expansion in the move, hence the reason expanded flat. So we've got pretty much got 5 waves down, I think, done in wave C. So from here on, I'm looking for a turn up to begin wave 1 of 3. So, let's go back here and get a wave 1 label. Won't be needing you back there anymore. So we'd be looking for wave 1 to push probably up, maybe up above 110 again. Wave 1 and 2 create a higher low and then run higher. It's a medium to long term count. So, we take it day by day. So that's what you'd think. That's what I'm expecting to happen here. So this week I've been tracking wave 1 of 1, and it looks like there's a lot of ones going on here. I know, forgive me. That's just the way the count works at lower degrees. We've got wave 1 pink of wave 1 blue of wave 1 green. So this may be the beginning of our long trek higher. Obviously, from here on out, that 104.40 level, 104.47, has got to hold, and we'll see if we can build 5 waves up next week. And that's the idea for next week. Now, we're looking for a rally in cable as well, but In cable, I'm suggesting that this is only a short-term rally, and then one new low to come to complete wave 1 down. So I just don't think that this decline here is has completed a full 5-wave pattern down yet. So I've got wave 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're looking for wave 4 to complete next week and then turn down into wave 5. Out of sync, obviously, with Eurodollar, but however, that's the way it goes sometimes. We've got wave A up. This is wave 4 I'm tracking. Wave A up, done. Maybe 3 waves down to wave C. Or in wave B. I don't know. But we're looking for 5 waves up in wave C. So we're going to again expand a flat correction. Wave 4. Wave C should run higher in 5 waves, and we should break 122.73 at a minimum to complete wave C, and then turn down into wave 5 again. So early to mid next week, we're looking for wave 4 to complete, and then turn down into wave 5. So again, we'll be tracking it every night on the nightly updates. Check out bullwaves.org. Okay, here we go. This is dollar yen. We have popped to we have broken the uptrend, I think. You can see that that 5-wave pattern, we were looking for a top sooner or later in wave 5 of 3, and now we're looking for wave 3 to complete and wave 4 to begin. So let's go up in size here. So now we're looking for wave 4 to come in. Let's get that label in there. Okay, so medium term count, 3 waves down in wave 4. I'm looking down around that, previous 4th wave low, around 137 again. So again, it's a sizable decline, about 1,500 pips. So here we go. It should be a rocky road down in wave 4. And of course, it'll be the death of the dollar again. And oh no, can't you see the dollar's dying? Get out of the dollar, so on and so forth. Oh, it's like a 6-month cycle now at this point. It's a bit of a headache, to be honest, that people can't see through it at this point. It's been going on for years and years and years and years, probably 20 years now at this point. Periodically, the death of the dollar, the dollar's going to go. I'll tell you when the dollar's going to die. The dollar dies when the international dollar-denominated debt market dies, because the strength of the US dollar is based on the amount of US-denominated international credit that's out there. And there is an almighty mountain worth of US dollar-denominated international credit out there. I think, is it not somewhere in the region of 50 or 60 trillion? I think it's somewhere around there. Someone's going to correct me on that, but that debt has to be paid. International borrowers have borrowed that US denominated debt, and they've decided to pay it back in dollars. And until that debt is either paid off or defaulted on, and there's no more demand for dollars out there, then we'll get a real big reset in the dollar. But until that happens, we're talking, that's a long way away. That's a long, long way out. Okay, so just leave me alone with the dollar's going to die tomorrow type of thing. Okay, I don't think, even there's really, really smart people that just don't seem to understand that. There's, the demand for the dollar will disappear internationally when there is no more US denominated debt, dollar denominated debt to pay. Okay, all right, let's move. And the US is still the biggest market, and it's still the biggest debt market. It's still the biggest, credit market. It's still the biggest asset market. It goes on and on and on. Okay, here we go. Dollar yen. Let's get back to the program here. All right, we're finishing wave 3. I'm losing run of myself. We should be heading down in wave 4. I'm looking at wave A of 4, over the next month or two. So we've got the initial spike lower this week seems to be wave A of A of A. You can see wave A and B and C should complete 3 waves down in that blue pattern here. So we've got wave A down. It looks to be possibly a triangle. Wave B. So we've got wave A down, and then we've got A, B, C, D, E. Wave B. Maybe we'll turn lower in wave C today. We should at least expect a break of 147.25 to complete wave C of A. So if that happens, then we've got 3 waves down in wave A complete. Early next week, we'll, towards the middle of next week, we'll look for 3 waves up in wave B, and then we look for a pattern down in wave C. So 5 waves down usually in wave C. And again, I'm looking at that lower degree fourth wave, so about 144 for wave A in green to complete. So this is going to take the next few weeks to sort out, and it's going to be a bumpy road, I think. If this pattern's correct, then it's going to be quite a bumpy road ahead. Okay, here is the stock market, the Dow. I know it's a pretty narrow stock market, but it's a historically significant stock market, and it's one that we should always keep our eye on for that reason, because everybody looks at it. That's why. So it's still a gauge of, let's say, sentiment, and quite possibly international sentiment, because there's some big names in there, staples. Okay, we've probably got wave 1 and 2 done, and it looks like wave 3 is pretty close to done. The ideal target for wave 3 in blue here, we were pointing out for the last few weeks, is about 32, 400, call it. 32,400 is where wave 3 blue reaches 162% of wave 1 blue. So we're looking for wave 3 blue to complete. That's what that's what I've been kind of concentrating on for the last while. The very early futures this morning are slightly higher. This, rebound this week has been, nothing but corrective, I think. I'd find, I'd be really hard pressed to find a way to label that in some sort of impulsive manner. So I'm going to stick with the main wave count, which is that wave 4 is underway, and we should turn down wave 5. Obviously, ideally, I would like to see that 32,400 level to be hit in wave 5 of 3, complete the pattern down. Again, I can't tell the future. I don't know whether that's going to happen or not. We'll see. This particular pattern calls for it. So let's see if we can turn down in wave 5 to hit that ideal area. It doesn't have to, but it would be nice. A minimum wave 5 should break 32,800. So that's where I'm looking today. Unless we get some sort of major rally turn up, that would mean that wave 4 is already underway. So right now, let's get actually a wave 4 label in here. Here we go. The wave 4 should turn up probably next week, if I'm correct. We should get some sort of corrective rally in wave 4. If it's underway already, then we'll be able to pull that out early on next week. Maybe even the action today will sort out that. Okay, so looking for wave 5 pink of wave 3 blue to complete. Let's see how that goes. Let's move on. Okay, I usually go to gold next. Is there any particular reason why I have these ordered this way? No. That's just the way they are on my, on my broker account. These are the way the charts that have been. I've had them ordered this way since probably the day I started, so a long time ago. Okay, so looks like gold has completed wave B, I think. Since we last talked on a Friday update, we've had a serious move down again. So I think the main pattern in gold is a goer. You can see here. You can see here how wave 2 is developing. It's going quite well so far. The 62% retracement of wave 1 comes in at 1790, more or less. So you would expect this wave C of 2 to fall down, and hit 1790. And it looks like that's probably where we'll close the trend channel also. So so far so good. people may not have wanted to see that happen, but that's exactly what's happened. The price is now actually trading right down around the lows of the previous fourth wave as well. So about 1800. I'm looking for a solid break of 1800 to be honest, to complete wave two. And excuse me, oh, that's a sneeze. I'm not going editing that out. I'll leave that in there for posterity. Okay, wave C of two, I think should close out around 1750, maybe even a bit lower. We'll see. Okay, you can see here the possible pattern in wave two. We have three down in A, possible three up in B, and then we've got a wave one, two, wave three completing, wave four, and then wave five. So obviously there's a couple of different ways of viewing this. You could have still a triangle B wave, so that's three down in A, and that'll be A, B, C, D, E in wave B, and then five waves down in wave C. So that could be wave one, two, three, four, and then five. So no matter which way you look at it, we're still looking for a fourth and a fifth wave down to complete wave C of two. At this point, 1750 looks like a pretty solid level for wave C to complete. And then longer term, we should head up into wave three. So that could be quite a wave up. So, people were screaming at me, emailing me, wondering when was this correction going to come in gold? Should I buy gold? When the market started going like this, should I buy gold? Will I buy gold? I think I should buy gold. Screw you, I'm going buying gold. When's this correction? Is it going to turn higher? I don't know. I think it's still going to turn higher. Look, the market's up. I think I'm going to hold on. No. Oh, maybe you're right. Maybe I'm wrong. I think I should sell all my gold. All right. You're saying hold on to gold. Maybe I should sell it all. All right. I'm going to sell all my gold. I've sold all my gold. Why are you telling me to buy gold? I don't believe you. The market's not going to go up in a third wave. Screw you. The market's going up in a third wave. I'm sorry, I'm talking to myself here. Maybe nobody actually followed that. That was a run through the emotional roller coaster of series of emails that I've been getting over the last year and a half. I think we're coming into the end of a second wave, and I think then we'll turn on higher into a third wave. This second wave could pull us into Christmas. Excuse me. This wave C of two could pull us all the way into Christmas. So maybe we should wait for a while before we start piling in again. But soon enough, maybe late November, December, we should start thinking about moving back into gold again. So we'll have three waves down done. I think we'll have five waves in wave C done at that point. And then things will probably start looking good to start accumulating again. Maybe not put everything you have in, but maybe start positioning. We'll see how that goes. That's my idea. That's what I'll be doing anyway. Okay, here is crude oil. Will I do a similar headline count for crude oil? Here is back in April, crude oil set to go to 100 in a matter of weeks, and then we turn down. Crude oil set to crash below $50 in a matter of weeks. Crude oil consolidates, but longer term is down. Wave count says we're going up higher in a C wave. Crude oil consolidating, but the future is not looking bright. And then up around wave three, crude oil set to go to $100 again. Crude oil consolidating, but the future is looking bright. Crude oil on the verge of $100. Next up, $150. By the end of 2025 or 24, crude oil will be $150 a barrel, and everyone will be broke. An immediate crash. I'd say you can still find the $100 is coming for crude oil headlines if you go and search, Google there. Just in Google News crude oil, see what comes up. All right. We were looking for that trend channel to close out wave 5 of C. We got a throw over and we got a series of throwovers, and then we got a final, finally we turned down impulsively. I'm looking at this as wave 1 and 2 to begin a long grind down in a fifth wave. So you can see wave 4 is the recent top. That's 94.27. Wave 5 down should be a long way down. If you go to the daily count, I'm looking at about at least below 60, probably even much lower, depending on the way it goes, but probably much lower, probably back below 50, even lower again, maybe. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. Yes, people tend to forget that it's been, a wild upside move in crude oil. The market has reset. We're actually, the crash that we've seen over the last couple of weeks in prices has come on the back of cuts in production. So they were cutting production all the way up here, and the prices crashed. Tell me how that works in your mind if you're like, the captain of industry in Saudi Arabia, and your government is spending money hand over fist, and you're cutting production, and your revenues are dropping now exponentially. Those revenue drops have now, been expedited, and there is nothing. I'm sorry, there's nothing else happening in Saudi Arabia. The government gets its money from crude, and that's that. Okay, so we've turned down. If this is a long-term turn down, you can expect a crashing price in crude oil to come along with major production increases. Okay, if we start seeing, sub $70 oil again, which we probably will, sooner rather than later, then come New Year this year, come New Year 2024, you'll probably see the headlines of, Saudi Arabia increases oil production 500,000 barrels a day. Iran brings on more production supply to China, so on and so forth. Why is it always despots that control the oil? Unreal. Saudi Arabia, Iran, Russia, Venezuela. Goes on and on. All right, here we go. We're turning the corner in crude oil. Let's hope it stays that way. So if that's wave 4 in place, we could have a 5-wave pattern down in wave 1 already complete. There's a couple of ways you can view this pattern, obviously, but I would probably hazard a guess at seeing that I would hazard a guess that we're going to see a turn up to create a pretty significant lower high in wave 2, up around the $87, $88 area again. That's kind of where that neckline comes in. That's been built over the last while. The previous fourth wave kind of neckline, $87 to $89. Excuse me. If that happens, if we get 3 waves up to wave 2, let's say towards the end of October, then towards the end of, November is going to be a serious down month in crude oil, in a third wave. So that's the outlook. Let's see how it goes next week. We'll do this night by night, obviously, to track the patterns. Okay. Early next week, I would suggest that we probably get the initial moves up into wave A. Let's get a couple of labels on that anyway. This is going to be a long update. Okay, we had 3 waves up in wave 2, about 87, 80, 80, 88, somewhere around there over the next few weeks. Okay, let's get the S&P. You can see we're closing out that third wave in S&P as well. My ideal kind of target area for wave 3 in blue here was down around 4,100. Again, that's where the this 162% extension of wave 1 comes in. So you can see that there. That's 4,100. It's also back around the previous second wave, so that's kind of a consolidation in the wave 2. Also a consolidation in wave B. Also top of wave A. So it's been a pivot area previously, early on this year. It's been a pivot area. Maybe it'll form that pivot area for wave 4, or sorry, wave 3 low as well. We'll see how that goes. Obviously, the alternate count suggests that maybe we have wave 3 already done. I would like to see lower. That's that's my gut instinct, is that wave. Obviously, the futures are slightly higher this morning. Maybe this gets blown out of the water today. We'll see how it goes. And then again, maybe this is only wave 1 of 5. That's also a possibility. Maybe this is wave 1 and wave 2, and maybe we go lower in wave 3. If that's the case, then we do actually get to that kind of ideal pattern, ideal low for wave 3 blue. Again, 4100. If this idea here is correct, then there's no reason in the world we don't get down to 4100. We'll see how it goes. Let's see how the action goes today. Again, the action overall, the action to the upside this week has been pretty much corrective. We'll see how it goes. I'd like to see that wave 4 high of 4300 hold, and I'd like to see it turn down again into wave 5 of 3. So that's my ideal pattern. Obviously, the alternate count is there. We'll deal with that if that comes. We will know more tonight. There's no doubt about that. If we get another whack, another spill down again today, then most likely we're going to head down towards that 4100 area before turning higher into wave 4. So that's the idea for early next week. Okay, silver consolidating over the last few days, possibly a triangle actually, in wave 4. Now, this is where things get very interesting for silver, and I will expand on that. I think I did during the midweek video as well, but I'll expand on it here too also. Okay, the bullish pattern for silver is that we have a wave 1 and 2 done, and that we are on a lower degree beginning wave 3 up with a wave 1 and 2. Okay, and that's very possible, very probable even, but still there are risks involved here. Now you can see that this retracement here it's starting to come quite close to that previous second wave low. So that comes in around 1990, and I've been pointing to this level for the last couple of weeks. Even when nobody thought that we were going to get a C wave decline, I was pointing to that 1990 level. So A, B, and C. Wave C I don't think is done yet. I think we get one more leg down in wave C. If we break 1990, that really brings this alternate wave 2 count online again. So that alternate wave 2 suggests that wave C of 2 falls all the way back towards $14 again, and you just cannot rule that out at this point. If we break 1990, the most likely scenario is that we're going all the way down to about 14 again. So just hold your horses for a little while on this one. So far we've got 3 down in A, possible 3 up in B. Again, this could be a triangle B wave. But this decline here looks more like an impulsive 5-wave pattern, which is that's why I'm calling it wave 1 of C. So that'd be wave 1 of C, wave 2 of C, and wave 3 of C is closing out right now. Okay, so you've got wave 1 and 2. You can see there 1, 2. And we've got wave 3 closing out now. Maybe it's done. I'm not quite sure. That could be a triangle completing with this morning's little pop higher again. If that's the case, then that triangle would probably be more like. So then we are completing wave 4 now, and we'll head down into wave 5. Again, you can see that it's 1987 actually on this chart, but call it 1990. You can see how the pattern gets us very close to that 1990 level very quickly. Another step down, it's only $1 between. Sorry, it's only $2 between. $1.10 between here and 1990, the complete invalidation level. So I think we're very tenuous at the moment. This bullish count is quite tenuous at this moment. Wave 2 is still the preferred count. If we break 1990, I think we'll just have to go back to the drawing board again for silver. Okay, let's move on. What was I looking for? Wave 2 here in Bitcoin seems to have closed out this week. That's the last time we spoke. In the weekend video, we were closing in the top of that wave C, and then we were looking lower into, wave 2, and we're looking lower into wave 3 down. It looks like this week we've got a wave 1 and 2. Maybe even today we've got a 1 and 2 to begin wave 3 of 1. So looking for 5 waves down in wave 1. At a minimum, you would suggest a break of 25,900 in wave 1 to complete. That would be where you get a break of the previous wave B. If that happens, that it doesn't confirm the bearish count, but it definitely stacks the cards in favor of that third wave decline, and it's going to be a significant third wave decline. Again, if we get a third wave decline, we're going back below 20 pretty quickly, and maybe down towards about 15. And we will see how that goes. I usually finish on the NASDAQ, so pattern on the NASDAQ has really come to kind of, how would you say, not a screeching halt, but a momentum death anyway at this moment in time. We're still holding a 3-wave down pattern in the NASDAQ. Is this only a longer term correction? Well, the longer term pattern would suggest no, but I can't rule that out, to be quite honest. We did close out a lower high, wave 2, a few months ago. So that would suggest that wave 3 is beginning, and maybe this is only a series of 1-2s. And if that's the case, then we've got a wave 1 and 2, and wave 1 and 2 closing out. There's still the possibility that this is the third wave down. Obviously, the larger part of the decline came within a third wave, so don't rule that out just yet. We get another spike lower. If we get a solid break, 1400 again, that will suggest that wave 3 of 1 is the favored count here. But again, we could be building a lower high, so it could be wave 1, 2, and then 1 and 2 here. So it will be quite interesting to watch the action early next week. If we start to push, let's say that 50% retracement level, if we start to push 15,000 again, and basically lose upside momentum and turn lower again, that will suggest it's a 1-2 pattern before we head into wave 3. So keep an eye on that one. And I think that's that. I usually close out with the gospel. I might do that later, but I have something to show you guys, if you like. These are some such cool things that go on. You know me, I'm follower of the way of Jesus Christ. I'm follower of the Messiah. I always ask people to consider it. Consider eternity in heaven, maybe, if you like, because for all of us, this world is going to come to an end. Our existence on this world is going to come to an end. But you don't have to. You have the free gift of salvation there for everyone if they just grasp it. They got to reach out and grasp it. It's called free will. God is not going to. God's not going to force you to take that free gift of salvation. Salvation in Hebrew is Yeshua. Yeshua was Jesus' name in Hebrew. He is your salvation. He came here, lived the perfect life, died the prophesied death, the suffering servant in Isaiah 53. He died that death. His death, God himself on the cross gave his eternal life as a man, gave his perfect manly life as the eternal Father on the cross, an eternal sacrifice for people to gain eternity. You know, a man, one man's life is equal to another. If it was just a man who lived a sinless life and gave his life, that would be worth one person's life, maybe himself. That'll be worth only one person's life. But Jesus gave his life for all. That means he was eternal. That means the only way you can offer one life for eternity for everyone is if your life is eternal itself. So God on the cross, the Aleph Tav, first and the last. Anyway, this is something I did recently on my other channel, and it's a prophecy within the names of David's family. He had two families, one in Hebron. Hebron is a place of joining, and then one in Jerusalem, and that's a place of peace, basically, or overflowing peace, I think. Anyway, so this is the 2 Samuel 3. This is the innocuous passage. You should go and read it. The war between the house of Saul and David lasted a long time. David grew stronger, and Saul grew weaker. And then the list of his children, so the list of his sons in Hebron were Amnon, Kiliab, Absalom. Where is it? Amnon, Kiliab, Absalom, Adonijah, Shephatiah, Itriam. He had 6 kids in Hebron. David means beloved. So David is the beloved. David, the beloved. Hebron is a place of joining. And the names of his 6 children in the place of joining is a prophecy of the remnant of Israel. And the names read, faithful restraint of the Father is peace. My Lord Yahweh governs the remnant of the people. This is a prophecy of when the Jewish people come back to the place of joining with the beloved, and they gain the faithful restraint of the Father and peace. And my Lord Yahweh, then Yahweh governs the remnant of the people. Now here we go to Jerusalem. So 2 Samuel 5-13, and David took more concubines and wives in Jerusalem. Good on you, David, hey? I'm happy enough with one wife, thanks. And more sons and daughters were born to him. These are the names of the children born to him there: Shammua, Shobab, Nathan, Solomon, Ibhar, Elishua, Nepheg, Japhia, Elishama, Eliada, and Eliphalet. You'll notice that none of the sons in Hebron who were born to him first became the king. It was the guy in the middle of his second batch of sons, to a wife that he murdered the husband and took his wife. She must have been a serious looker. Bathsheba. That was the sin that he killed Bathsheba's husband and then took Bathsheba for his own wife. Okay, so David's sons in Jerusalem: Shammua, Shobab, Nathan, Solomon, Ibhar, Elishua, Nepheg, Japhia, Elishama, Eliada, Eliphalet. If you study the names, this is what they mean: renowned, hearing, returning, brought back, given. He gives, recompense, completeness, peace. He elects. God is salvation. Yeshua. God is salvation. Elishua means God is salvation. To spring forth, to sprout, he causes to shine forth. God has heard, God knows, God is deliverance. The sons of David in Jerusalem show the picture of salvation. The very picture of salvation that the previous sons, that is Israel, will go through. Hearing, returning, he gives completeness, peace. He elects. God is Yeshua. To spring forth, he causes to shine forth. God has heard, God knows, God is deliverance. So when you hear, you return back. And then he gives you complete peace and recompense. And he elects you through Messiah Yeshua, Elishua. God is salvation. God is Yeshua. El Yeshua. God Yeshua. Yeshua is Jesus' name. So the middle child of David's sons in Jerusalem actually says God is salvation. God is Yeshua. And after he elects you through Yeshua, you spring forth to new life. And he causes you to shine forth, just like the prophet Daniel said. And he hears you. He hears you. Actually, prophet Daniel said, the elect will shine forth. Go and read chapter 12 in Daniel. So after you become, a new birth through the Savior, you shine forth, and God has heard you. He knows you, and he gives you deliverance. And then it's a chiastic structure all built around, it builds up to Yeshua and it flows out from Yeshua. Everything comes from Yeshua. It's built around Jesus. It's built around Yeshua. So you return back through Jesus. You're brought back through Jesus. Jesus gives you peace. Jesus elects you. You have new life in Jesus. You shine forth in Jesus. God hears you through Jesus. He knows you through Jesus. And you have deliverance through Jesus. It's all through Yeshua. And then just look at these things here. This is the amazing structure of God's word, Shamua means hearing. Elishama, God has heard. So these are connected. If you connect them, you get in hearing, God hears you. In returning, God knows you. And then he gives you deliverance. See how that beautiful kind of symphony of connection goes on there. Anyway, I wanted to show you that. It's all around Messiah Yeshua. And, if that's not enough, if that's too much for you, maybe it's the ABCs of salvation. Believe in the Lord Jesus and you will be saved. And that's that for this week. Maybe I won't be here next week, and maybe that's why I had to do such a long video this week. And maybe that's why I had to give you such a long presentation. Who knows? And if you're here until the very end, then God made you stay here until the very end for a very good reason. All right. If you did stay to the very end, send me an email. I would love to hear if you did actually stay to the very end. My email's on the website there. Alrighty. See you next week. And if you join the website, or if you're already on the website, I'll see you tonight. All right. God bless. Bye-bye.